Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fat Jocks. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for being here. Much appreciated, everybody out there. If you've listened to the show before, you know what to do. But if you haven't, go over to iTunes. Give us a damn 5-star rating, 5-star review. Subscribe on YouTube. And if you got any questions, send them over to fatjockspod@gmail.com. That is fatjockspod@gmail.com. Bryan, my weird friend, what do we got going on today?
This next episode is going to rock you like a wagon wheel, folks. We go through it. We start with a little too much time on golf, considering how little we actually know about it. Phil Mickelson, congratulations to you for winning the PGA Championship. We also go into the White Sox drama. Tony La Russa, is he weird? We'll figure it out. Aaron Rodgers, is he weird? Yes. We get into that. We get into a little bit of boxing news, a little bit about Albert Pujols, a little bit about a Chinese fat kid playing soccer. It wouldn't be Fat Jocks if we didn't have a fat athlete highlighted. We also talked briefly about a Siberian grave digging competition. A world record was set, 38 minutes just to dig a grave. That's fast, folks. All that, a whole lot more. Enjoy the show. God bless.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business. Son of a bitch. He's fat. Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined. He's fat.
Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
He's fat. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the number one two-man sports podcast in the whole YouTube sphere.
Yeah.
I'm Bryan Vokey. This is my co-host, Bruce Gray. You are listening to Fat Jocks. Wherever you're listening, however you're listening, welcome and thank you. Boy, have we got a great show in store for you tonight or today, depending on when you listen. That's the great thing about streaming. This is not live, so we can edit out, certain things that I had to. You'll hear some feelings about Aaron Rodgers coming up pretty soon, and there may be some edits.
There may be you going, and he's just a fuck. No, and that's what I really, and that's what I think about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Him and his fuck. Yeah, well, I don't know, man.
I'm mad at, a little precursor. We'll put a pin in this after this, but I'm mad at Aaron Rodgers for reasons that other people are not mad at him. But let's go ahead and start on a positive note. Lefty.
Phil Mickelson doing it for all the old brothers out there.
All those 50-year-old motherfuckers out there who always thought I would love to win a PGA championship.
Now you can.
How'd he do? I didn't watch it.
I mean, he won. He was on fire, dude. He was crushing it. He won. He did great, but he was on fire all fucking weekend. And that last round, he was just crushing him because he was teamed up with Brooks Koepka. He's fucking 30 years old, 20 years younger than him. And Brooks Koepka really fell apart. I mean, he still shot better than 99% of golfers in the entire world, but still, he ended up falling apart and shooting something like plus 4 or plus 6 on that last round. Just fucking blew it. And Phil Mickelson's out there just having a day.
I feel like the PGA and the PGA Championship, everything but the Masters, I feel like the winning scores are pretty low. Like they're usually around like what was Mickelson? He was 6 under.
I think PGA Championship leaderboard. I think he shot 6 under. Yeah, his final round.
That's not like crazy impressive. So that must have been a tough fucking course. Where was it?
Ocean course in Hawaii, it would seem, based on Kiowa Island. Am I wrong?
Shit in Hawaii?
Kiowa Island. Where the fuck is this bitch ass thing at?
Can you imagine going to Hawaii and making millions of dollars?
Yeah, that was. Where's this shit at? It's not giving me. Oh, this shit's near Charleston. Sorry, that's the opposite of Hawaii.
Charleston, South Carolina?
Yep.
Dude, you personally, I promise you would love Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah, it always seems really nice. It seems like a white trash beach.
No, it's not necessarily white trash. It's actually a little nicer than that. It's like a nice old-timey Southern town, which the word nice is subjective. I bet there's certain people who hear old-timey Southern and they're like, actually, that doesn't sound nice. But I think for a man of your interests who likes, a beer, likes, a cobblestone horse-drawn. You like horse-drawn carriages? You would love that, right?
I would love a horse-drawn carriage.
Yeah, they got that. They got weeping willows all over the place, old-timey above-ground cemeteries. It's kind of like Savannah, Georgia. It's really nice.
Yeah. So you're saying it's great places for people like me, white trash people who love tourist activities.
But like, it's like, remember how we always laughed at that song, that George Strait song about their honeymoon being
in Frisco Bay, Texas.
Yeah, Charleston is like that.
Yeah,
where it's like, it's not white trash, but white trash people go there to be big spenders.
Yeah. You know what's crazy with that? I keep seeing these pictures of Phil Mickelson, and like, Phil Mickelson, he's like a short game, like that's like his entire thing.
Yeah. Does he miss like 60? He only hits like 40% of his fairways.
Something crazy. He's like that's his. If you go on YouTube and you watch like best Phil Mickelson shots, it's all like he's legitimately hitting it from like the middle of a restaurant.
Yeah. I saw him hit him.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Bush.
Yeah. He'll hit it out of a bush. He'll hit it off of a rock and backwards. He'll like, literally, there's twice in one tournament where there's like a bar little area above a hole, and he hit it up there twice, and twice had to hit off the deck of that thing onto the green. But I just saw this picture. I want to find it again. Yeah, pretty much. I just saw this picture of him looking like he was carrying an iron that looked like a 90-degree iron. It was like completely flat. So he's just a freak when it comes to this, all this different shit that he does. It's like, it's kind of the same way that John Daly would use a 0 iron, where it's like he's just a freak, really.
I think Phil Mickelson is the new Freddie Couples, where like all the old men like him. Like back in the day, like all the old men were always rooting for Freddie Couples for some reason. At least in like my parents and family circle, like they all loved Freddie Couples, and now like all those people are rooting for, because Freddie Couples is 9,000 years old and his back is fused, and so now I think they're all rooting for Phil Mickelson.
Phil Mickelson, he's
country club appeal, I'll say.
Yeah, Phil Mickelson, but he also seems like kind of a normal dude compared to a lot of other golfers that would see. Where he seems he's funny, he's personable, he's
yeah, he talks shit.
Yeah, but he's like a cool dude. There's a few videos I was watching today of like he has like a camera behind him and he's about to hit one and he like stops and he looks at the camera and goes, "You're gonna want to get this." And like he does shit like that. And like he'll drive one and somebody was like, there was a video where he's walking by somebody and he go, "Hey Phil, should I have you on my DraftKings today?" And he goes, "Probably not." Or like another thing where he like hit one and like as soon as it went off the thing, someone's like, "Oh, it better be better than Tiger's," and Phil goes, "It is."
He also, I watched one where he teed off, sent a laser right down the middle of the fairway, and he goes to the crowd, "Let's all take a moment to appreciate the fact that I just hit a fairway."
Yeah. He's like,
what's great about those situations? It's almost like telling a joke at a funeral, where it's like it's such an uptight situation that if you just bring a little humor, you will fucking slaughter. You know what I mean? You just got to have a little wit at a golf course, and you will slaughter. I mean, I'm telling you, a lot of people are intimidated, but some of the best sets of my life have been eulogies.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that same. I just did one a few weeks ago, and
trying to get on the circuit. Fucking
hammered. Trying to get on the eulogy circuit. Yeah. It's like there's pastors who go around, but then there's you who's like, "And then, okay, you gotta give it up for your granny."
Dude, I spend so much time on YouTube watching. I watched Lemmy's eulogy. I watched Bernie Mac's eulogy. I've watched Buck Owens' eulogy. I mean, there's great eulogies on YouTube.
Yeah, but best eulogy in my mind is Dwight Yoakam's Buck Owens' eulogy.
There's one. Is it Bernie Mac? It's one where one of the Marlon Wayans just slaughters. Who was it? Oh, it's Witherspoon. John Witherspoon.
Oh, really?
Eulogy.
Yeah.
Marlon Wayans set at John Witherspoon's funeral is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Anyway, I don't know what that has to do with Phil Mickelson.
Well, I mean, I was talking to you about it yesterday, but there was a story on the Foreplay Golf podcast. I can't remember who this guy is. I think his name is John something, where he's like in the golf world. I don't think he's a professional golfer, but he was telling a story about being at Jordan Spieth's wedding, and it was the day after that Phil Mickelson Tiger Woods pay-per-view golf thing they were doing a few years ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And apparently it was bad. I don't remember it. Apparently there was like 3 birdies between both of them the entire day.
Yeah, I think Tiger won by like 4 strokes and he was like 2 over.
Yeah, I think it was like bullshit all day. It was shitty, but they made a shitload of money off the entire thing. And so this dude's drunk at Jordan Spieth's wedding, and he goes up to Phil Mickelson and he goes, Yeah, hey Phil, hey man, you owe me $29.99. That fucking sucked yesterday. What the fuck was that? It was some of the worst golf I've ever seen. Like, come on, man. And he said he didn't even know Phil Mickelson at all.
And he was hammered.
Yeah, just hammered at Jordan Spieth's wedding. But then he said that he Phil Mickelson pulled out a wad of hundreds and pulled one out and gave it to him and said, "Here you go. I made 900,000 of these yesterday. Go fuck yourself."
That is the dream. Eddie Murphy did that one time in a special. Somebody heckled him and he threw a wad of cash at him and had him removed. I've always wanted to give somebody their money back right in their face.
Yeah.
That's a dream. That's when you know you've made it.
Yeah. Well, that's like that old Charlie Murphy video where he's doing a set at the college. Have you seen that? And they're booing
he has like a
him
$10,000 check.
Yeah, they're like booing him, and he's like, "Boo, man, fuck y'all, fuck that." And he goes, "Hey, bring me out my check. Bring me out my check." And the person brings out his check. He goes, "This right here is a check for $10,000." And then he rips it in half and goes, "Fuck y'all," and then just walks off the stage.
It's stuff like that where you're like, because like when he hit on Chappelle, everybody's like, "Why wasn't he famous earlier?"
You're like, I have a few ideas.
That right there.
Well, that's like that old Bill Burr story where he said that he was on a tour with Donnell and Charlie Murphy, and they would never shut the fuck up. And so that he went one time when they were hungover and had like a long road trip, and he went to Popeyes and got like $100 worth of food or something crazy. And they ate a bunch of it and just passed out immediately.
Yeah. He said Donnell called it the itis.
Yeah.
Well, there was a word attached to the itis.
That's for another podcast.
That's for another person to say.
Man. All right, dude. Well,
were you stoked on? Were you watching that? Were you glued to your TV?
I was. Okay, so this is crazy because just a few weeks ago, I was talking to you or I was talking to somebody else about like where Phil Mickelson stands. And like, I think it was whenever we were talking about Albert Pujols, Miguel Cabrera kind of like being on their way out. Mm-hmm. And I was like, where does Phil Mickelson kind of stand in this whole thing? Because he's been playing fine, been like whatever, like nothing crazy.
Yeah. He was in the Masters the first 2 rounds and then he dropped off.
Yeah. And it's like, he's been playing fine. I was like, I wonder where he stands right now and like what's going on. But then, after the first day, whenever he was up, I was like, oh, good for Phil. He had a great first round. And then that second day he was still up. And I was like, damn, fucking A, Phil's still up. And then the third day, because they play 4 rounds, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So after that fourth round, after the third round, I was like, Jesus Christ, is Phil going to do it? So I watched pretty much that entire 18 on Sunday, and he was on fire, dude. He literally he had like a few missteps, nothing crazy, but like I said, he was out driving Brooks Koepka like multiple times. He drove one 366, 324 in the air.
I want to look up the rankings of that Lee Oosthuizen guy from South Africa, because whenever I play fantasy golf, he's such a good play.
He ended up being towards the top of that thing, I think, because
I feel like he never wins, but
I think he might have ended up getting second place because I think that Brooks Koepka dropped down quite a bit because he just started fucking blowing it.
What's his name?
I had it right here. Yeah, Oosthuizen he got second.
He got second.
Yeah, he got second, -4. We tied for. Oh no, he ended up. Yeah, I mean Phil Mickelson, even in the he was on fire in that last round, but
I thought he finished 2 over or something.
In the last round, he finished +1, but he was like the last few holes, he was kind of just doing damage control and like kind of trying his best to not blow it. You know what I'm saying?
Brooks Koepka got second place.
Tied for second.
Yeah, but still, that's not falling off.
I thought he was a lot farther down, and I thought he did a lot worse in that last round. But maybe it's just because Phil was playing a very low risk style of golf compared to what he usually plays, and he was like kind of damage control. There was a few things where he kind of just like usually he would try to like hit it off a tree and around a corner and like fucking hit it off of a person into their body and have them run up to the hole and spit it in. Yeah, but he like kind of just played it pretty straight.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, literally. That's usually
crashes into the tower.
Yeah. And it was fun to watch. And I love Phil Mickelson. He's a G, dude.
Yeah. I can't wait for Tiger to come back. I hope Tiger comes back in like a fucking RoboCop suit.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. But people are saying that Phil Mickelson was using like either a new driver or like a new, completely like brand new set of clubs this weekend that is like legit. But apparently there was some drama. Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau Did you see any of that?
No.
There's a let me see if I can pull that up.
I knew Mickelson was winning because I had 3 missed calls from my father.
Is your father a big Mickelson guy?
Yeah, he loves him.
Dude,
He's
that's
obsessed
so
with
fun.
him. Yeah.
So Brooks Koepka and Bryson. Do you know Well, I mean, it's kind of a lot to explain. Yeah. Do you know DeChambeau at all?
I mean, not personally, but I'm aware.
But he's a very funny dude, and he's like has got big personality. He's like longest drives on the thing. He's that dude that a few weeks ago at a tournament thought he missed the cut, but then the wind picked up big time or something, so he flew home and then had to fly back. he just was pissed off and he thought he missed the cut, so he just bounced. But there was apparently him and Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau have this like long running beef going on, and Bryson DeChambeau like during the middle of a Brooks Koepka interview at the end kind of walked like kind of directly behind him talking loud and like was like scraping his spikes really loud, and Brooks Koepka just like just like rolls his eyes and he's like, sorry, I don't even know where we were. But it's kind of shitty on the TV people's part because like, oh dude, he's like, oh, don't worry, we'll spike it, but we're gonna have fun watching that in the video village thing like at the end of this. Yeah. Well,
let's see him in the ring. Let's move on to baseball because clearly neither of us really know anything about golf.
No, I'm really good at it. That's my only thing. I should be out there.
Yeah. Let's check in on the Chicago White Sox here.
How far into this are you? Because I'm all the way in.
I understand that you're deep in, so I'll give you what I know and you can go from there.
Gotcha.
Now, what I understand is most of this drama is that's going on right now is around a 9th inning home run on a 3-0 count in a runaway game that Yerman Mercedes hit. You say Yerman?
Yes.
Is that how you say it?
Yerman, yeah. Off of a position player.
They had a position player on the mound, 3-0 count. Apparently
47 mile an hour pitch.
Apparently Tony La Russa, old-timey manager of the Chicago White Sox, was almost on the field yelling, take, meaning take the ball and just walk. But Mercedes loaded up, hit a home run. And then who was that off of?
He's off the Twins. I can't remember this guy's name, but I like the guy who hit it off of a lot. He's like a fat dude. He's funny.
Yeah, so he hit off the Twins.
He's funny because he's fat, basically.
And it spurred off this long conversation about unwritten rules of baseball. And I think a lot of people who have the best interest of the sport at hand are rolling their eyes at this shit. Like, the Trevor Bauers, we're going to get into CC Sabathia. Or how do you say his name?
Sabathia.
You're
really spicing it up. You do live in East LA.
Chichi Sabathia.
You know my friend Chichi. Well, I was telling CC Sabathia rocks because I was telling you that story where a few years ago, like one of his last years, he had a chance he needed just like a few more strikeouts or like another inning or something pitched to get a big bonus, and instead somebody on the other team had fucked with one of his teammates and he just fucking drilled the dude and got ejected. Yeah, missed out on a bonus.
I also loved how his uniform always fit like old time pajamas. Like
yeah,
a butt strap on his.
Yeah, well, he's like shredded now. Have you seen him lately? He's like ripped. He looks like fat guy ripped, where he has like a little bit of like saggy skin a little bit.
He pulled like an offensive lineman. Like whenever you see like Jeff Saturday hosting on ESPN, and you're like, he's like shredded now because he doesn't have to be fat anymore. But yeah. I don't understand how being fat was beneficial.
I was gonna say it is funny to be like, yeah, now that he's not a professional athlete, he doesn't have to be fat anymore.
So a lot of the younger people who like, and I don't know where Tatis stands on this White Sox thing, but I mean, the man he's into the bat flips and he's into a lot of the things that
everyone should be.
Yeah, it makes the game more interesting. And also, so is that essentially what's going on? Is there more to it?
Yes, there is a little bit more to it. Okay. So Tony La Russa, if the White Sox didn't have close to the best record in MLB, Tony La Russa they would have completely lost the clubhouse, and this would be his only year managing. Everybody would have turned on him immediately. There would have been players only meetings. It would have been a lot bigger of a deal because
winning fixes everything.
Yes, it absolutely fixes everything. So here's this right here. The last 20 years, this is a stat from Jeff Passan, who I do like. Jeff Passan, last 20 years, MLB hitters have seen 557 pitches in 3-0 counts with their teams up 10 runs. How many of them would you guess have swung?
What's the number? 500 and what?
557 pitches in 3-0 counts with their team up 10 runs. How many? What number swing do you think that Yerman Mercedes was?
342.
First, the only person to swing at it with a 3-0. So he's the first person to swing. A first person to swing out of 557 people in the last 20 years, 3-0 counts, team up by 10 runs, which who cares? 47 mile an hour pitch, 15-4 in the top of the ninth, position player pitching, 3-0 count, and he hits an absolute bomb. And okay, so here's what Tony La Russa said. And respectfully, I respect Tony La Russa to the end of the earth. I think he's done a lot of blah, 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 blah. But respectfully, Tony La Russa can suck my pecker, pal, is what he can do right now.
Gabagool.
Yeah, he can literally fucking stick it where the sun does shine. With that, here's what Tony La Russa said. With that kind of lead, that's just sportsmanship, or respect for the game and respect for your opponent. Tony La Russa told reporters the next day, he made a mistake. There will be a consequence and that he's going to have to endure within our family. It won't happen again. This is what people were saying when Tony La Russa got hired to coach the White Sox. There was some shit going on. I think he talked shit about Colin Kaepernick. I think he did a few other things. He's an old conservative guy. People were like, how is he going to handle coaching a team of pretty much the White Sox are ballers, but they're also young, either black or Dominican or like Puerto Rican players. There's not really a lot of white players on the White Sox. So although the Twins were miffed, this article says, La Russa seemed even more upset about it with his own player. He called the 28-year-old Mercedes clueless about the situation because he was a rookie. But now he's got a clue. He said, Mercedes. Okay. So this is.
Wait, he's a 28-year-old rookie?
Yeah, I'll get into that. So
he's having a great season.
He's hitting 350 motherfucking 3, making league minimum right now. Okay. So listen, Tony La Russa could have easily just gone to him and be like, hey, this is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be done. And then in the media could have just said, I'll talk to him. We'll get it figured out.
Back in the media.
He fucking threw him under the bus so motherfucking bad. To which Tim Anderson commented on a Yerman Mercedes picture on Instagram. The game wasn't over. Keep doing you, Big Daddy. And he said, yes, sir. Let's do it, baby. Those are teammates whose coach is Tony La Russa.
Well, according to, and I'm going to play this right now. We can get into Tony La Russa, but Sabathia is kind of claiming that Tim Anderson is the coach of this team.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. He's the best player on the team. He's
meaning that, La Russa is pretty much useless. So you want to listen to that rant real quick?
Yeah, go for it. La Russa needs to get the fuck out. Only thing he's good at is driving drunk.
They hired him. Like, he's just so out of touch with the game, and most people are, cuz. Like, I sit here and watch Christopher Russo on fucking MLB Network. He's out of touch with the game, cuz. Like, Tony La Russa's out of touch with the game, cuz. He shouldn't be managing one of the best teams in the American League, period. The fact that Tim Anderson, basically the captain of their team, had to go on Instagram and step up for his teammate, like, yeah, the game wasn't over. If you're going to put a fucking position player in there to pitch, guess what? If he's going to lob shit over the plate, we going to fucking tee off.
This is a pitcher.
People get embarrassed and you don't want to see position players pitch and people swing on 3-0 counts and all that shit. Then make it a 10-run rule so the fucking game will be over and you don't have these stupid-ass unwritten rules. And now you got a rookie that's basically been carrying your fucking team these last fucking first 6 weeks of the season. This guy's been carrying you. And now you don't have a problem.
Absolutely.
Fucking weird-ass Minnesota Twins throwing behind one of your biggest hitters.
Weird. And I'm sorry, pause it. I love whenever black people call somebody else weird because it insinuates a million other things.
Minnesota Twins, weird ass. Yeah.
He's a fucking weirdo. Like, I love that. Weird ass Minnesota Twins. Is that it? Keep going. Okay, yeah, keep going.
Stupid, period. I'm sorry. This shit is terrible. He shouldn't be fucking managing that team. And if you're not going to step up and have your players back, what's the point of being the fucking manager of the White Sox? Shit is stupid as fuck. Sorry.
See, perfectly said. I feel like that'll be our social media clip for the week from R2C2.
Fucking stupid, man. That shit. I was so mad, cuz. And I was re-pissed off yesterday when Duffy's weird ass threw behind him.
Re-pissed off is a phrase I like. But
re-pissed off.
his weird ass.
That's a great interaction. Weird ass Minnesota Twins. Fuck that shit. He should be coaching too.
Yeah, you know exactly what he's in private. He's replacing the word weird with a combination of stuff.
Yeah.
All other kinds of stuff, and that's 100% true. Tony La Russa has no business coaching that team.
Do you think they're winning in spite of him?
They'd be winning with anybody. They're fucking great. Their team is stacked. They have 2 MVP candidates who are out right now, and they're still crushing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's saying. Those dudes both went down. Eloy Jimenez and Luis Robert. Huh?
Who's out?
Luis Robert and Eloy Jimenez. I think Luis Robert is out.
Yeah.
And those are 2 guys. Yeah. Luis Robert is injured. And Eloy, remember, dude fucking blew up his titty in spring training trying to rob a home run for some fucking reason.
Yep.
So there's no reason for Tony La Russa to say any of this, but also there's no reason for Tony La Russa to be coaching that team. CC Sabathia should be coaching that team.
That'd be great. They
would love that. And that would be fun. Imagine how that locker room feels right now versus how it should feel. Because you know Tony La Russa, he's this old school dude. He probably doesn't want loud music. He probably doesn't want people cursing. He's probably finding people for fucking sagging their pants or whatever else. It's like, dude, Tony La Russa can suck my dick.
Yeah, it's a different era. It doesn't work anymore.
Which is what I think me and you talked about that before. I was like, dude, I don't know. I was like, this makes sense almost because Tony La Russa has managed in the past and done so well. But I think the game of baseball has moved on with the analytics and everything else. And you had said that Tony La Russa was kind of one of the first analytical coaches. Mm-hmm. But what I didn't think about is the game has moved on in the sense of these cultural. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, Tim Anderson is a big proponent of this all the time. Of him and Trevor Bauer are both kind of on the same page of, if you got people like Tim Anderson doing what Tim Anderson does and hitting bombs and bat flipping and pumping his chest and showing his chain, that is great for baseball, and it will advance the sport so far beyond what any of these fucking idiots like Tony La Russa, like their style of it.
Yeah, I know. He's managing like the troops are coming home from Japan.
Yes.
Like, you know, yeah. Like it's a different era. Yeah, no, I hear you. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, you look at what Thibodeau's doing with the Knicks right now. Thibodeau is an old-timey coach. The starters play more minutes than on any other team. And like everybody talks about how he burns out players and he ruins stars. But tell me this, why does Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose follow him to every fucking team he coaches? They were with him in Chicago. They were with him in Minnesota. And now they're with him in New York. Like certain old school mentality. I mean, there's a certain way to be old school and player friendly, I think. And Thibodeau's figured that out. Now the Knicks are not going to get out of the playoffs. They're going to lose in the first round, but that's just because they don't have enough talent. But I mean, they're playing way beyond what anybody expected with them because they have this barking. Have you ever heard Thibodeau on the side?
He's fucking it's wild.
It sounds like there's a fucking Rottweiler. It sounds like a DMX song is playing on the side. It's fucking insane. But yeah, sorry, I want to finish. I just have these are my final thoughts on this thing. It is so fucking insane to have your coach going into the media, which he probably doesn't even understand how far reaching the media is now that it's not in a fucking newspaper in the Chicago Tribune or wherever, that he realizes it's fucking reaching every corner of everything, where the next game, and it's like right here. So extra, Yerman Mercedes hits 3-0 count, 10-run lead. Read all about it.
So Yerman Mercedes stood by his action, telling his reporters, I'm going to play like that. I'm Yerman. I can't be another person because if I do that, everything changes. I play the way I play. Tony La Russa said, I heard he said something like, I play my game. No, he doesn't. You can tell this to him. Get out of the fucking thing, old man. Get into a fucking home.
I know.
You fucking rotting corpse.
Yeah, you got to be like remember that Texas Tech coach that we play in our samples?
Oh, yeah. The Oklahoma State. Yeah, I'm a man. I'm
my player. Take it of me.
Tony La Russa needs to be like, I'm a man. I'm 104.
Yeah, I'm like 3 men at this point.
Yeah. So, okay. And he says, I heard he said something like, I play my game. No, he doesn't. He plays the game of Major League Baseball. He respects the game, respects opponents, and he's got to respect the signs. Respect the opponents.
Oh, really?
Suck my dick.
Respecting the game. How about when you were winning World Series with the Bash Brothers, when you knew they were fucking sticking needles all the way up their fucking ass?
Exactly, dude.
Respect the game.
Okay. And then so the next day, Twins reliever Tyler Duffy, who CC Sabathia has called weird, and I do agree, threw a pitch behind Mercedes in apparent retaliation the day after the home run. La Russa again sided with the opponent, saying he had no problem with it. You have no problem with a guy throwing at your players, you fucking idiot?
It doesn't
stick up for your goddamn players, old man.
Yeah, I don't understand what he's doing. It's like you can think whatever you want, Tony, but you
can say whatever you want in private. You fucking idiot. What do you got, man?
Yeah, it's really stupid. Yeah,
MLB, however, did have a problem with it, handing down a 3-game suspension. Okay, and then Mercedes' teammate, people like Lance Lynn, veteran pitcher, been around forever. People love Lance Lynn. Backed him, saying the more I play the game, the more those rules have gone away. Which La Russa triples down. Like it's like Mexican blackjack. You can just keep doubling and doubling and doubling. What are you doing, Tony? Quit splitting fucking tens, dude.
You know what's going to happen is obviously we know baseball is the longest season of all the sports. It's such a fucking grind. So a part of what keeps you fresh is having a fun atmosphere and having a good clubhouse. Imagine what it's going to feel like come late August, early September, around there where they're fucking.
This team can win the World Series, and Tony La Russa is the only thing standing in their way. How does that feel? The only thing standing in the way of your team winning the World Series is your coach.
Boston Red Sox. I agree.
Not winning the World Series. They'll get there. The Rays, but the Rays are the Rays of the Rays of the Rays of the Rays. Okay. So
Red Sox are coming out of the East. Out of the AL. Everybody knows that.
30
over. They might as well give them the trophy, honestly.
Here's what Tony La Russa said about Lance Lynn. Lance has a locker. I have an office. I would be willing to bet there wasn't anyone in that clubhouse that was upset that I mentioned that's not the way we compete. What are you talking about, you fucking old man?
They should get him on the Pete Rose law there. He's betting on baseball. Get rid of him.
Yeah, get him out of there.
He's fired. No more Hall
Play the Trump thing. Get him out of here, this son of a bitch. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Needs to lose a little bit of weight too. Okay, so Yerman Mercedes spent 9 years in the minors. He's hitting 353 as a rookie right now. He's hitting 353.
28-year-old rookie.
28-year-old rookie.
Baseball.
He making the league minimum. He's been signed and released, and he played 2 years in independent ball, which is a fucking nightmare. You think minor league baseball is a nightmare? Independent ball, they fucking, Jesus, it's like jail.
Yeah.
Dude, it's insane. I think somebody made a good point about it, where it's like, you don't know what Mercedes' contract is like. Who is he? What's he going to do? Strike? What do you want him to strike out? What do you want to do? Walk? What do you want to do? What do you want him to do? He's going to fucking go out there and ball out as much as he can. He's fucking trying to stay in the major leagues as long as he can.
Yeah, he's a 28-year-old rookie. He's got a 4-year career ahead of him.
Yeah, but it's also like he's making $570,000 this year. That's great, but he's been making piss for the last year. He's been getting paid in piss.
Right. And also, you got to understand, these guys are making $500,000. It sounds like a lot, but if somebody gave you $500,000 at 28 years old and said that's the only money you can earn for the rest of your life, it ain't a lot of money.
No, it's not. It's just insanity, man.
Yeah. Well, LaRussa's got to go.
It's not good. I do have there is just a quick little baseball thing here. Albert Pujols. I don't know how much we talked about him 2 weeks ago, but I just want to tell you one thing.
He went to the Dodgers.
He's on the Dodgers. He's been delivering. He's had RBIs in games where the Dodgers have won by 1 or 2. He's played 7 games with the Dodgers. You know what the Dodgers record is in that time?
What?
7-0.
Well, they were due to come up soon.
Yeah, they're back a half game out of the Giants. Who the Giants are playing great. I don't know how they can keep that going.
Well, they have the best pitching staff in baseball, and the Giants. Not only do they have the best pitching staff in baseball, but they got that guy Bede, who's right now rehabbing in AAA, and he's a #1 draft pick, and he's supposed to be a stud too. Another pitcher coming up.
Yeah, and Yastrzemski's out. Maybe the Giants are going to make a run.
Season actually.
He was injured. He's injured right now, I think.
Yeah, but he's been hitting like 250.
I think maybe he was probably injured in that.
But you know who's going off is actually Brandon Crawford.
Brandon Crawford's going off. My crazy ex-girlfriend's cousin, Brandon Crawford.
We got
shit. Fuck you, Brandon.
The Red Sox got not Brandon Belt. Who is it?
You know who else is in her family is Garrett Cole, because Garrett Cole is married to Brandon Crawford's sister.
Garrett Cole, the richest baseball player.
Second richest.
Behind Trout?
Trout's contract's $480 million. And Trevor Bauer is the highest AAV, pal. You're living in 2016. 2017, whatever year it was. I don't
Eric
know.
Cole's still producing though. For those Yankee contracts, usually you don't get 4 years out of a guy.
No, not at all.
And he's still top of the league. I mean, he's right. Bieber right now is probably going to win the Cy Young right now.
Quickly, I'll touch on this. This came out 4 days ago. You know Eric Kratz. I trust Eric Kratz because he's a catcher. I trust catchers more than anybody else when it comes to this kind of stuff. Eric Kratz, he was on the Brewers a few years ago when they were in the NLCS. He was their catcher. He's like a older dude.
Yelich.
Huh?
Christian Yelich's come out year.
Yeah, the year he announced he was gay. The year he came out. So he was saying, Eric Kratz said in a bombshell interview on Friday, the Colorado Rockies were a franchise he was willing to name that participated in a similar convoluted scheme to the one being run in Houston in 2018 when the Rockies won 92 games. Said the Rockies were cheating over there.
Listen, if I would say, let's not look at how the sausage is made here. All right. Listen, if you start really looking into this, just let the Houston Astros take the black eye before we look into this and we realize that every fucking team in baseball is doing this shit.
Yeah, it's
if I was on the Houston Astros, I would hire private investigators for all the other 31 teams, and I would, because they all cheat. Everybody cheats. That's what
they're probably the ones that put out that story about that fat pervert from the Mets.
Yeah, they're probably slandering. If you were the Astros, wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm petty.
Slander every motherfucker in the league. The Astros are, by the way, they're not going away. They're in second place right now behind Oakland, I think, but they're on the up and up again.
Yeah. And the A's, what place the A's are in, you would never guess.
First place.
Not the A's, the Angels.
Oh, last place.
Last place.
Yeah, I'm trying to get down to that stadium soon. I keep saying that. I got to get down there.
Fully open June 17th.
I want to see Babe Ruth.
Japanese. Dude, Shohei Ohtani, man, I mean.
He's getting a lot of press right now. He's getting more press than Trout. He's becoming, they're really trying to make him into a superstar. Because
he has the most home runs in the MLB right now, I think.
And he's a hell of a pitcher too. It's unreal.
It's really something. This is he's like Mike Vick whenever Mike Vick first came out and they were like, what? He could do both?
Actually, this is a little different though. I don't think that's what this is. This is because Shohei came in with these expectations and then because of injuries, he wasn't able to fulfill them. So this is 3 years in on a promise that was made 3 years ago and he's finally fulfilling it.
Yeah.
So it's even kind of a bigger deal because it's such a delayed success.
Yeah.
And
he's second in home runs. Well, he's tied for second in home runs because Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has the most. He's hitting some bombs. Ronald Acuna, Adolis Garcia. I have no idea who that is, but good for him. And then Ohtani-san.
Where's JD on that?
Probably 60th or 70th. He's going to
shut the fuck up.
He has 12. He's probably way down there.
JD, he's the MVP candidate.
He's questionable. Some people would call him weird.
Yeah, well, yeah, that person is a fat Yankee.
Who President Taft? You want to move into some quick Aaron Rodgers stuff, or you want to talk about?
Aaron, I'm done with Aaron Rodgers, guys. I know you've heard me go on passionate rants about how I will kill myself if he leaves the team. The weird is another one. Aaron Rodgers, weird ass.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is being weird, dude. Aaron Rodgers is acting a little weird.
He's hanging out with these actors. He's greasing his hair back. He looks like fucking Christian Bale right now.
Yeah, I didn't like that video because you sent it to me. I also don't like. Okay, I've come to a conclusion.
Let's play it real quick. Let's get the context out of it.
You're good.
I want to play this video for you guys real quick. Is there share screen capabilities here? Yes. Hopefully, I can just get this in there. Share screen. Yeah. Okay. Let's just.
He's being weird.
Folks, let's just watch this and then I'll tell you my rant. His douchey friend who's in a Hawaiian shirt air guitaring. That's Aaron Rodgers on the guitar.
That's Aaron Rodgers playing.
Shut up. I have never.
All right, shut up. You sounded like a 60-year-old Massachusetts diner waitress trying to calm down an unruly customer.
Shut up. When I saw that video, it fucking infuriated me.
Oh my
I was
God.
thinking, Aaron, I've had your back every step of this way. The whole time we've been going through this together, me and the Packers, I have stood by Aaron Rodgers the whole time. And then he stabs me in the fucking back
with that video.
That Old Crowe Medicine Show, Darius Rucker nonsense. I one time was working at Yosemite National Park. I was doing a summer gig there.
Good for you.
And I was sleeping up on up in the top of the mountain, doing some trail work, whatever. Don't need to get into it. I'm a man. And we're at the top of this.
Were you on a chain gang?
Well, this was during FDR's new deal. It was part of the WPA. We were building out the park. No, I'm at the top of the Yosemite. We're at Yosemite, and the fucking hippies would play that song. You got to understand, Bruce. I like country music. I like the outdoors. I like hiking. I like camouflage. I like dead animals on the wall.
But you hate hippies.
I haven't hunted yet, but I would love to go hunting. I would love to kill a fucking deer. I'm down. I'm down.
You hate hippies?
I'm down with rural America. I was top 2%, 98 percentile of Grateful Dead listeners on Spotify. It's not even that I hate hippies. There is this wealthy curly hat NorCal douchery.
Yes. You know what? I until today, I've heard some Old Crowe Medicine Show, and then today I listened to it, and Old Crowe Medicine Show is a part of the bastardization of country music where it's an in-between. It's not quite fucking Florida Georgia line, but it's not right.
It's for rich Democrat. And like, listen, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a conservative person. But when I say Democrat, I mean like Hillary Clinton voting, like wealthy
Palo Alto,
mainstream Palo Alto. Yeah, like just plaid shorts, Hurley hat, fucking a graphic tee, and you have millions of dollars, but you're like, sell yourself as a down to earth kind of person.
Yeah, Old Crowe Medicine Show has taken a sleep at the wheel and added oat milk.
What I'm saying, yes, that's perfect. What I'm saying is, if you want to act all fucking Denver, you want to go all Rocky Mountain High on me, take your fucking talents to Denver. We don't need that shit. All right, we don't need that shit in Green Bay. I'm done with you, dog.
The fact that this is what has changed your mind is very funny.
I didn't finish the hippies at the top of Yosemite would be playing that, and they all were wealthy, and they were just like, rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel, and they would all shittily harmonize the hand, that like little, and it's a ripoff of the band. That's the other thing. It's a bastardization of my all-time favorite band is The Band, and that is essentially just taking the band's biggest hit, which is
The Wait.
Yes. That is a ripoff of The Wait. That song, it's a fucking Target t-shirt section version of The Band.
Yeah, I today was the first time I really dove into Old Crowe Medicine Show, and I want to say that I was disgusted. And at the end of the day,
craft beer right over Aaron Rodgers' head when I saw that.
At the end of the day, I think that Old Crowe Medicine Show and Aaron Rodgers are both weirdos.
100% they're weird. Get Jordan Love in. I'm getting a Jordan Love jersey. As soon as I saw that, I said, I bet there's a great deal of Jordan Love jerseys. Get fucking Drew Lock in there. I don't care. Drew Lock stinks. I don't want this nonsense in my locker room. That's weird shit. I don't want that shit in my locker room. Aaron, you take your Old Crowe Medicine Show and you go up fucking Rocky Mountain High, you John Denver cocksucker. I couldn't stand it, dude. I'm over it. I'm done. He broke my heart.
Okay, my issue is kind of what you're saying about
Ben Stiller is the greatest filmmaker in American history. I've already dealt with this, okay? Every time I listen to Aaron Rodgers talk, I got to listen to him recap the plot of Wedding Crashers or some fucking Owen Wilson movie or some fucking he has terrible taste. All right? I've already put up with that. But when you cross into music, it's too far. It's a bridge too far. I can't go there anymore. I'm done with Aaron Rodgers. Unless he stays. And then
unless he stays, then you'll personally send him a brand new guitar. If
Aaron Rodgers stays, Fat Jocks, I'm bringing an acoustic guitar on here and I'm singing an entire verse of Wagon Wheel.
Okay. All right. That is a promise.
But it's a promise, and I promise to keep it. But if he leaves, he can suck my ass. I don't care either way now. I'm 50-50 on this motherfucker.
My issue is how hard they were trying on singing that song.
Yeah, with his fucking actor friends.
Yeah, you really on the phone today. Brian was like, he's fucking hanging out with his Hollywood friends. I was like, all right, dude, you're leaning hard here. Just liberal Hollywood elite, and they're over there.
Liberal. You put that in my no.
You did the way you said Hollywood friends. You were. It seemed like you were about to say adrenochrome in the next sentence.
I'm a fucking socialist. Everybody knows.
But I'm no fan of Old Crowe Medicine Show. I don't mind the Darius Rucker version of that song. I don't mind it.
See, at least the Grateful Dead were high on crank and stabbing people at their shows and shit. There was an edge to it.
I love the Grateful Dead. The Grateful Dead, yes, absolutely. But I also love Asleep at the Wheel. And what I saw Old Crowe Medicine Show trying to do was not. It was just weird.
Old Crowe Medicine Show would pull over and get some rest and then keep driving. They would never fucking go until they fall asleep at the wheel. There's no edge to them at all.
It's great. That's great way to say that. Yeah,
we only had a little bit of time left, so let's get it. I feel like I said what I needed to say. Aaron Rodgers brings it out of me, dog.
Yeah, I mean, you've really you've been denouncing pretty much all your heroes on this show in the last few weeks.
I know. I want to get another. Are you ready for me to denounce another hero? You know who else can suck my dick? Tyson Fury.
Oh my gosh.
Tyson Fury can suck my dick. Another absolute hero of mine. John Fury, still on board with him. But Tyson Fury fucking made me believe. He looked into a camera and he told the whole world that the Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury fight was going to be on, which was going to be the biggest fight in boxing history.
I was thinking Andy Ruiz, that fatso, but Anthony Joshua's black guy.
Yeah, Anthony Joshua is going to be an all UK heavyweight, first unified heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis. It was going to be and Anthony Joshua is already the largest draw in heavyweight. He brings the biggest crowds. He sells out Wembley Arena, the O2 Arena every time he fights. You got fucking Tyson Fury, who's a goddamn superstar. And you got Tyson Fury, who's the best boxer on the mic in all of the business. And then you've got the best talker, and then you've got the biggest draw. And you've got heavyweights. You've got 265-pound fighters. You've got guys who are over 6'6". I think AJ's 6'6" and Tyson's 6'9". It was going to be a battle of giants. You got two guys. Anthony Joshua is a fucking Olympian, gold medalist, super heavyweight Olympian. You got Tyson Fury, who can move like a middleweight in the ring, even though he's fat and he's 6'9", he's 300 pounds. It was going to be, hands down, it was going to be the biggest gate out of any boxing match in history. Turns out the whole time they knew that Deontay Wilder had a rematch clause. And it went to arbitration, and they could have. So Deontay Wilder had till December to cash in on that rematch. He could have forced a rematch legally. It was in the contract till December. After December, then Tyson Fury and Bob Arum and Top Rank Boxing could have said, fuck off. They could have gotten rid of it, but they didn't get rid of that rematch clause. So the whole time they were selling us, the public, the AJ Fury fight, and they put Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, the promoter of AJ, he worked his ass off. He found a site in Saudi Arabia. He was about to pay $150 million as a site fee to host that fight. $150 million. He was ready to fucking put all that shit down. He worked his ass off for 5 months, and then out of nowhere, Deontay Wilder wins an arbitration, and it guarantees that he has to have a third fight with Tyson Fury. Does Tyson Fury even raise a stink about this? No, he just goes, all right, fine, I'll fight whoever, and then he signs a contract with Deontay Wilder, basically saying, fuck you to Eddie Hearn, fuck you to all the fans. This fight was never going to happen. He knew it the whole time. So now we're going to have to watch fucking Tyson Fury fight Deontay Wilder's bum ass for a third time because Tyson knows it's a guaranteed win, and he's going to make $25 million. He's on a fight contract. It's like when you signed an album deal, like a 10 album deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter to him. So, and now we got to watch Anthony Joshua is going to fight like Alexander Usyk or somebody who's like good, but he's a foot taller than him. It's so bad for the sport. And Tyson Fury had me eating out of his hands when he said that fight was guaranteed. It was locked in, and they had a site in Saudi Arabia, and it was going to happen. And now, Tyson Fury, Billy Joe Saunders, you guys, I fell in love with your fighting style and your mic style, and you both fucking swindled me. And now now you're both weirdos. Yeah, now you're both weirdos, dude. And if Tyson Fury and AJ fight, I will still root for Tyson Fury. But also, last thing I'll say about boxing, because I really do want to get to this grave digging competition. Manny Pacquiao is fighting Errol Spence. You may not know this, Errol Spence is one. It's like 1A, 1B as far as the best welterweights in the world. It's Terence Crawford and it's and Errol Spence. These are 1A and 1B, the best welterweights in the world. Manny Pacquiao's 42 years old. Mayweather, 43 years old. Mayweather's retired fighting YouTubers. Manny Pacquiao, 42. He is still fighting the absolute best of the best. This is not like a let me pick the best fight to look good. Let me pick a guy I know I can run over. He picked besides maybe Terence Crawford, this is the toughest possible fight for Manny Pacquiao to take. It's kind of insane. I really will be interested. He may get knocked through the ropes again. I don't know what's going to happen here because I don't remember who he was going to fight that you were all hopped up on saying that he would beat him. I remember we were arguing about that.
Maybe it was one of the Paul brothers, or maybe it was no, it wasn't one of the Paul brothers. It was that one guy who cried boo-hoo about his mental health now.
Oh, Ryan Garcia. You thought Ryan Garcia was gonna beat Manny Pacquiao.
Well, now that he went and boo-hooed because he has a headache, I don't think so anymore.
No. But let me tell you something. Everything you said about Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao is relevant as Errol Spence versus versus Manny Pacquiao. This might be one of the. If Manny Pacquiao, mark my words for this, if Manny Pacquiao beats Errol Spence, he has an argument to be one of the greatest boxers in the history of boxing. Going all the way back to Jack Johnson. I mean, like in the whole 100 and whatever years of boxing, to be an 8-weight division champion and at 42 still beating the very best and welterweight is one of the hardest divisions in boxing. 147, it is stacked, and Errol Spence is at the top of that stack right there with Terence Crawford. I am jacked for this fight, but I'm also like, is this going to be a clown show? Is Errol Spence just going to rearrange the senator's face? Like, I have no idea. But it's pretty kooky. The other side of that is everybody who knows me knows that I love Terence Crawford. He's my guy. I just want him to get his fucking payday. I just wish so bad that Manny was fighting him because he's 33 years old. He's on the other side of his prime, and he's the best welterweight, and he's one of my favorite fighters. And he's one of the coolest looking fighters you ever seen. He switches southpaw to orthodox, like in the middle. It's just like he can beat you from any direction. And he's a Packers fan. He's from Omaha, Nebraska. He's the man. I love Terence Crawford, but he has not had that payday fight yet. He's like number 2 pound for pound in the world right now. I think Canelo moved up to number 1. I think it goes Canelo, Terence, and then Inoue. But like, he still hasn't had that fight that would make you know who he is. You know what I mean? And it breaks.
I know all these names, but I couldn't pick them out of a lineup.
Yeah. So Terence Bud Crawford also, he's just great. His friends are fucking trashy that he shows on his Instagram stories. And he's always out, like, he'll take an old beat up truck and just shoot a fucking semi-automatic rifle at it in a field. He's just like, seems like the guy I want to hang out with. He's the opposite of Old Crowe Medicine Show. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is, if any of you are like, hey, I like boxing, I don't know what to watch though, watch the replay of the Jose Ramirez Josh Taylor fight. It was for all 4 belts first time, and plus the ring, so he's got 5 belts now. So Josh Taylor is the first 5-belt unified champion at junior welterweight, and the fight was amazing. The referee tried so hard to screw over Josh Taylor, and he just couldn't. The referee gave like a 20 count to Jose Ramirez. I mean, he knocked him clean out. He let him recoup, and Josh still won the fight. But it was a 12-round fight, and it was one of the best boxing matches I've watched in a long time. Let's get into Siberian grave digging. So
this is the ESPN at 3 a.m. segment. As Bryan likes
the
to
show
call it.
Right now, it's 58 minutes into the recording, although I think it's a little less than that because we were recording some bullshit for a while. But this is the last segment of the show, ESPN at 3 a.m. But as you know by our guests with the hot dog eaters, by the way, thank you to Mickey and Nikki for being on the last episode. And, from Dallas CV being on, I did a rod 7-time champion. 7, right?
Yep.
7-time champion.
5.
5-time champion.
Mickey has 7 championships.
That's right. So we're trying to turn this show, because it's like, listen, why would you come to us for fucking football news when you could go to Colin Cowherd or Shannon Sharp or whatever? We're trying to evolve this show into where's our niche? And I think our niche is, if you guys remember watching ESPN at 3 a.m., there was always some dope ass shit, whether it was lumberjack challenges, world's strongest man challenges, eating contests, shit like that. Well, this is one that I don't think you would see on ESPN at 3 a.m., but I'm trying to get, I doubt anybody speaks English who's involved in this, but I would love to get the world record holder for the fastest grave digger onto the show.
I know this is Siberia.
This is Siberia.
I don't know what language they speak, but I could definitely find.
That's Russia. Siberia is a state in Russia.
I know. I have a good friend who's from Russia and would translate for us.
That would be if we could. So in Siberia, now my favorite thing was that this the grave digging competition that was supposed to happen in 2020 had to be postponed for COVID, which I just think is so funny because they were.
That seems like if they're going to have one competition,
they're probably too busy digging actual graves.
Yeah.
to dig fun graves, but
all work and no play makes grave diggers dull boys.
So let me read this real quick. Russia had a high-speed grave digging competition which challenges participants to dig a coffin-shaped hole in the fastest time possible. It was moved from Omsk to Novosibirsk. It has been postponed by a year due to coronavirus. Now the grave challenge is called Grave Chaos. And
that's a sick band name.
Grave Chaos.
Grave Chaos.
Yeah, and then I have to translate this from Russian. This is what's so funny about it. So you may be asking, why are they having a grave digging competition in Siberia? Which, by the way, some of you may realize that the gulags, Stalin's gulags, were in Siberia. That's where a lot of mass graves out there. So it's a part of the world that is rich with grave digging tradition. It says the winner in the grave digging competition was a team from Omsk, which completed the competition task in 38 minutes. Teams consisting of, here it is. The purpose of the competition is to raise the prestige of the profession of grave digging, improve the level of work performance, and attract the attention of the younger generation to the profession of a funeral service worker. So I got some video for you too of it. Here's some grave digging for you, big guy. It's just hardcore porn.
Sorry, it looks like I'm a
So you can.
It's 2-man teams.
Yeah, it's 2-man teams, and they tell you the dimensions, but they're in like centimeters, so I don't even know. It sounds tiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those guys are dressed as soldiers, and then you've got like the pig farmer type setup with the overalls. You got guys, and there's a guy who's emceeing the whole thing, and he's in a tuxedo. And then they put in coffins.
They put in coffins to make sure you did the right thing.
That you did the right size. And they even bring flowers for the grave. And so this was a world record. This was the fastest grave ever dug, 38 minutes.
Do they use the graves afterwards?
That's not said. Oh, look, that guy's coffin didn't fit.
Damn.
Oh, that's got
fucking chump.
Now look, there's the winner. Christ, that is funny.
So funny.
Grave digging.
Competition grave digging. All right. So my 3 a.m. segment this week is an absolute legend. Reading stories like this makes me realize how terrible my dad is. This guy has the best dad possible that a fat young man could ever have. A Chinese businessman bought a soccer team so that his fat son could be on the team. So this Chinese businessman bought a professional soccer team and forced them to play his son, specifically his son, who is 277 pounds of electricity. Look at my man right here.
Hey, that's good.
Just an absolute legend. Here, I'll kind of fast forward through some of his highlights here. Here's my man, number 7, checking into the game. Here he is. Here we go. He is so slow. Taking a corner kick here. That's not the worst corner kick in the world, but just look at his movement. Watch, just whenever he's
he's like over it.
He does not run whatsoever. He looks like somebody who refused to dress out for PE, who's just walking the track. He does not run. He just stands there and waits for the ball to come.
He generally, it's weird that he's a midfielder because that's usually the person who covers the most ground.
Yeah, but it's his dad's team, and his dad imagine being the coach of this team.
How powerful is this guy where nobody will even steal the ball from him?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about. They're kind of just letting him do whatever he wants. He's like a kid with Down syndrome at the end of a basketball season. And he's taking all the corner kicks and all the free kicks. Just some fucking shitbag dude's son.
That guy must be not just rich, but influential because the other team wouldn't even go near that guy. It's like he must be like Chinese Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, dude. I laughed so hard whenever I fucking saw that shit because I was like, what a fucking great dad that guy has.
I mean, your dad coached your fat ass through baseball.
Yeah, but he didn't buy the fucking Dodgers and put me on there. That's what he would have done if he was a good dad.
Buy the Dodgers. What would you do? DH? I mean, you can't DH. It's the NL. But
I would fucking Shohei Ohtani.
You would pitch it.
I would pitch it and play right field. If I had a good enough dad, that's what I would do. My dad
you think you could get one Major League Baseball player out?
Dude, what's his face? Anthony Rizzo got Freddie Freeman out and he was throwing like 60.
Anthony Rizzo is not you. I asked you. Do you think
But I could throw just as hard as Anthony Rizzo. And so, maybe there would be some kind of, maybe something could happen. It would be unlikely.
Yeah. I don't think I could get one ball player out.
Yeah. Maybe like Bartolo Colon.
Like I could get a ball player out maybe if they fucked up and popped out or grounded out. But as far as a strikeout, there's no way in hell.
Yeah.
Bartolo Colon would take me yard, dude. We all know that. Big Sexy went yard.
Just the last few things. Aaron Rodgers in that Kenny Mayne interview when they were talking about his wedding. I don't know if you watched the whole thing, but Aaron Rodgers said, "I'm a big floral guy. Roll it and light it."
Is that what he said?
100%.
I don't think he said that.
He 100 million.
I watched the video. He said,
I'll send you the clip after this.
He said, "I'm a big floral guy." And then he said, "You know me for sure," or something like that.
And then he said, "Roll it and light it."
I did not hear that.
I'll send it to you after. I'll send it to you right after we finish this.
Roll it and light it. I mean,
also, did you know that a white cornerback has not started a game in the NFL since 2003?
Really?
Really? It's crazy.
Who was that?
Me. It was me because it was my stepdad. No, I don't know who it was.
Yeah, it's weird because there are some white speedsters out there.
Yeah, but they usually they have to take up with their lack of whatever with just being a slot receiver who dies once a game.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of white safeties too.
Yeah.
Who just like the John Lynches of the world.
Yeah. You got anything else? I think we're what's up?
I like how you squeezed that fact in there.
The white one.
Closing the show. A white cornerback is not.
Yeah, it's like the
show tonight, guys.
What is that guy at the end of the news who's like his minute of the
like Andy Rooney, but
yeah, but the 1 minute at the end.
Why aren't there any white cornerbacks in football? Surely there are some who have the talent to play the position. Is it a cultural thing? Do coaches just not take white cornerbacks seriously? And is this a problem we should be spending? Anyway, I could do Andy Rooney all day.
Well, in conclusion, Aaron Rodgers is a weirdo. Duffy from the Twins is a weird ass dude.
Tyson Fury's a weirdo. Manny Pacquiao might be a weirdo.
We're both a little weird too from here and there from every now and again. It is funny that in that thing he's literally it is very funny to use the word weirdo as a substitute for other things you want to call people.
Yeah.
All right.
You figure out what that means to you.
Yeah, you fill in the blanks. All right. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Goodbye.